and welcome to the 3-week series entitled Lessons from Kids. School's out, but the lessons keep coming. My name is Giselle, and I'm so happy to have you join me today. For this first week, what we'll be talking about is, the title is Be a Rock Star. And one thing that you need to know before we go any further is that I have 3 little bambinos, as I like to call them. The first one, it's a boy, and he is 8 and a half. His birthday is going to be coming up really soon, and I already have a long list of what I'm supposed to do for his birthday. But moving along, I have a little girl, and she is 7. And the last but not least, by any means, my little guy, he is 4, going on 14 or 24 or 34, depending on the day. But what you'll find is that from these lessons that I've learned, they will be about my kids, stories about my kids, things that I have learned, things that I am learning right now, and things that I would love to share with you. So the first lesson that I have learned is entitled Be a Rock Star. And this came about from my little guy. I like to call him LJ, who is 4. He is a very spirited, and he has locks, and so when you see him, he's always like running around, shaking his head, dancing around, and he's always been like that. I call him my joy because he's just a big bundle of joy. Well, one day I was in the living room, and he came up to me and he said, "Mommy, I want to be a rock star." And I was like, "Okay, baby." He was like, "No, I really want to be a rock star." And I said, "All right, well, you want to be a rock star? Let's be a rock star. Let's do what we need to do to be a rock star." And so ever since then, his mentality is not that he will be a rock star, but that he already is a rock star. So he will be rocking down the street, and all of a sudden he'll get some music or something in his mind or in his head, and he'll just stop and start dancing, and then he'll keep walking. And then he'll stop and start dancing, and he'll turn around again, and he'll keep walking and have his little walk going on, and it's absolutely hilarious. But it hit me one day, like the innocence, the boldness of kids is amazing. And somehow as we get older, we lose a little bit of that. I've lost a little bit of that, and I'm getting it back. And having kids, although it's work at times, I'm able to see through their eyes and experience the boldness and the courage through their eyes. And it shows me, okay, where I need to step up a bit. And so what the lesson that I've learned today, and what I want to share with you about being a rock star, is I want to point out and challenge you and ask you and invite you to take time, because I believe that in each and every one of us at some point, whether in our childhood or as we got a little bit older, there was something that we really wanted to do. Now maybe it wasn't to be a rock star, but there was something else, maybe it was to be a doctor, maybe it was to write a book, maybe it was to be an architect, whatever it was, an artist, a drawing, painter, whatever it was. I want you to take time this week to get in a quiet place. It doesn't have to, listen, 10 minutes is good. It doesn't have to be really long. But I want you to take time this week to go back to that child part of you, that childhood part of you where you had dreams and you had hopes and you had passions and you had the courage to believe that you could do it. You didn't have this feeling like, oh my gosh, time is running out. Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit older. Next year I'm gonna be a little bit older. Next year I'm gonna be a little older. And then pretty soon I'm gonna die. Because that timeline that's going through your mind, like, oh my gosh, this timer is running down, it starts to freeze you up. It starts to put you in this hold that prevents you from dreaming. And it's so amazing that when we allow that space to dream, and we start going in that direction, so many things can happen so quickly. So for this week, here's your assignment. I would like for you to take time, go back to those childhood dreams and memories. And it may have been last year, who knows? But I want you to go back to that. Think of one thing, not a lot, one thing that you hoped for, that you dreamed for, that you desired. And then I want you to sit down with that and actually look at it. Begin to embrace it. Begin to validate it and not think, oh, all of these other excuses. Forget the excuses. This is just fun time. Think of this as a fun experiment, a fun exercise. Take the pressure off of it and think of one thing that you really enjoyed doing when you were a child and you said, I want to do this. I want to be this. And I want you to take time to just look at it. Write it down somewhere and just look at it and embrace it and accept it. Because believe it or not, no matter how old you are, no matter how far you've gone from that path, it's still a part of you. And just as my little 4-year-old is saying, Mommy, I want to be a rock star. He's 4. But he has that music and that drive and that energy inside of him. And I believe that that's a part of him. And whatever that's going to play out, I believe that he can and that he will be a rock star. And I believe the same thing for you. So take time this week to find out what that dream was. If you've forgotten, write it down and then look at it. Validate it, embrace it, accept it, because it's a part of you. All right? Be sure to share this video to whoever you think that it will bless, that it will encourage, that it will inspire and spur on. And then stay tuned for the next video next week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.